Good morning, children.
Ma'am, but good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Morning, ma'am.
This is Standard 5, English, Lesson 6, the three questions. Explanation of the lesson is done, it's completed. Today, let us reflect. We'll do some recap of the lesson for those who did not attend the session, first part and second part. So today I will be doing the recap of the lesson, the three questions. The main characters in this story are the king, the guard, talented or learned man 1, learned man 2, learned man 3, learned man 4, a hermit, and a bearded man. So these are the characters or these are the people in the story. The story is about a king and his people. The story is about, this is scene 1. Scene 1, yes, the story is about a king who has doubt in his mind. There are some questions for which he is unable to find the answer. So he plans to have a meeting, or he invites people from anywhere who can come and answer his three questions. In return, what will he do? He will reward them. He will reward them. Scene 1, the king's court. It is happening in the king's court. So, what are the three questions? What the king wants to know the answer. What's the right time to begin everything? Who are the right people to listen to? And what's the most important thing to do? If I know the answers to these questions, I would never fail in anything I undertake. So the king, he wanted answers for three questions. So what he did, he invited all the talented people from different places to come to his kingdom and answer his questions. And anybody who does that would be rewarded. The king wants to know the answers so that he can prove himself to be a good king and to take care of his people in his kingdom. So, four talented, smart, intelligent people come to the kingdom, to the king. They are ready to answer the question given by the king. They have answers for their questions. And what did the king say? He said, if you will answer my questions correctly, and if I am satisfied with your answers, I will reward you all. So the three questions were, what was the right time to begin everything? Who are the right people to listen? And what's the most important thing to do? So the guard comes in and he informs the king that there are people coming to meet him to answer his questions. So the first question, all four of them they give different answers according to their capacity or according to their understanding. They try to answer the king. So the first man says, one must draw up in advance a schedule and live strictly according to it. Thus, everything could be done at its proper time. The second man says, one should always attend to all that is going on and then do what is most needful. The third man says, a king should have a council of wise men who would help him fix the proper time for everything. And the last man, that is the fourth man, he says, one must know beforehand what's going on to happen, and only magicians would know what or that before one must consult magician. That is, the fourth man said, one must know beforehand what's going to happen, and only magicians would know that. So therefore, one must consult a magician. So the king, he heard the answers given by all four of them. He did not say anything. He just remained quiet and he asked the answer for the second question. Now, what was the second question? The second question was, who are the right people to listen to? So the king, he says, now answer my second question. For the second question, the first man answers, the people the king needs most are his counselors. For the second question, the first man, he says, the people the king needs most are his counselors. The second man says, I think priests are most important for the king. Priests are those people who perform prayer, religious ceremonies. We call them as pandits or bhajis or priests. So the second person says priests are very important. And the third learned man says the king definitely needs doctors most. So the third man says the king definitely needs doctors most. And the last man, the fourth man, he says the most important people for the king are his warriors. So the fourth man, the last man, he says the most important people for the king are the warriors. The king is irritated now. He is annoyed. He is not happy with the answers given by the four talented people. Then he says, and what about the answer to my third question? First question, he quietly listened to what all the four people said. Second question, again he remained quiet and listened to their answers. And then he's irritated and he's asking, and what about the answer to my third question? The third question was, what's the most important thing to do? What's the most important thing to do? So the first man again answers, the most important thing in the world is science. So the first man says, the most important thing in the world is science. The third man says, skill in warfare is most important. Teaching the soldiers different use of weapons and different skills which will be of use in the war. So the second man says, I think it is religious worship. It is religious worship. So the king was very angry. He was not satisfied with the answer. He says, no, no, no. Your answers are all different. I shall reward none. I shall consult the hermit I have heard so much about. He must be able to give me the answers. I must visit him at his hut in the wood. I must wear simple clothes and leave my bodyguards behind when I meet him at his hut in the woods. I must meet him alone there. So the king is unhappy with the answers given by the four talented men. He does not reward any of them and he decides to meet a hermit who lives in the forest. And he decides he will go to him as a simple man, as a common man, changing himself and no soldiers or no bodyguards, nothing. So this was in the first scene. The second scene, now the king goes to meet the hermit in disguise, that is, he dresses himself like a common man. In a wood in front of the hermit's hut, beside some dug out mud. So now the king dresses up like a common man and he goes to the forest to meet the hermit. And when he goes there, he sees an old man digging the earth and coughing. When he sees him, he understands that the old man was very weak. He was unable to dig the earth and he was also coughing. The king goes close to the hermit and he says, I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you three questions. What's the right time to begin everything? Who are the right people to listen to? What's the most important thing to do? So these are the three questions. He once again repeats the question to the hermit to get an answer. The hermit listens to the king but answers nothing. The sage, the holy man, he listens to the questions but he does not answer anything, he remains quiet. He breathes heavily and recommences digging. He just continues with his work of digging. The king, seeing the hermit, he says, you are tired. Let me take the spade and work a while for you. So the king tells the holy man, you are old, you are tired, you are weak. You take rest for some time. I will help you and I will dig for you. Thanks. He gives a spade to the king and sits down on the ground. The king digs two beds. Hermit, now rest a while and let me work a bit. So he took the spade from the hermit's hand and he started digging the earth and he dug two beds. After that, the hermit comes back to him and he says, it's enough now. You have worked. You take a rest. Let me continue with the digging. But the king continued to dig. Change. He continued digging and it was already evening time. So from morning they had started their work and they have reached evening. It was evening time. The king at last stuck the spade into the ground because it was getting darker. You cannot work in darkness. So the king stopped digging the earth and he says, I came to you, wise man, for answers to my questions. If you can give me none, let me so sorry. I came to you, wise man, for answers to my questions. If you can give me none, tell me so, and I'll return home. Now the king is getting annoyed, is getting upset because the hermit, the holy man, is not answering his question. So he tells him, If you are unable to answer me or answer my questions, please tell me. I will go back to my home. Hermit. Here comes someone running. Let's see who it is. So when they are talking, the holy person sees a man coming towards them running. They see a bearded man come running out of the wood. He is bleeding heavily and falls, fainting on the ground, moaning weakly. King. Oh, he's bleeding heavily. He will die if we can't stop his bleeding. So the king saw the bearded man was bleeding, and he tells the hermit that we have to save him. We have to stop the bleeding. If you don't stop, this man will not survive. The king and the hermit unfasten the man's clothing and see a large wound in his stomach. The king washes and bandages it. So they find a large wound in his stomach. The king, he washes the wound and cleans everything and he applies some medicines and he puts a bandage. King, finally, it has stopped flowing. After some time, the bearded man came to conscious and he started asking for water. The king exits and comes back with water. So the king, he goes inside the hut and he gets some water for the wounded man. Let me take you to the hut. Have some rest and you will feel better. So the king, he took the wounded man inside the hut and asked him to take rest for some time. So this was the incident that happened in scene 2. Now what happens in scene 3? Let us see. Scene 3, it is morning time. Okay, night is over, night is past and it is morning time. The king wakes up in the morning. He sees the bearded man lying on the bed gazing intensely at him. The hermit walks into the room. So, night passes away. It's morning, early morning, and the king wakes up and he sits on his bed and he sees the bearded man sitting in front of him who is continuously looking at him. And during that time, the hermit enters the room. The bearded man The bearded man had to say something. What did he say? Forgive me. You don't know me. I am that enemy of yours who swore to revenge himself on you because you put my brother to death and captured his property. So the bearded man, he tells the king that he was his enemy. He came there to take revenge. He came there to kill the king. When he got to know that the king is going to meet the hermit in the forest as a common man and he's not taking any of his soldiers or bodyguards, he thought that this is the right time that he can take revenge on him. So he followed him and he wanted to attack him and kill him. But on the way, the king's bodyguard were waiting for the king. And they attacked him and they wounded him. But the king was so kind that he took pity on the man. He washed his wound, he applied medicine, he put a bandage, and he took him inside the hut and asked him to take rest. So the bearded man was regretting for his behavior or for his act. That is, he wanted to kill the king. He wanted to kill the king. I wish to kill you, and you have saved my life. The bearded man came there on purpose to kill the king. He says, I wish to kill you, and you have saved my life. Now, if you wish it, I will serve you as your most faithful slave. Forgive me. So the bearded man asked for forgiveness from the king for his misbehavior or for his evil plan. King, I forgive you. I am very glad to have made peace with my enemy and gained you as my friend. So the king, he says, I forgive you. I am very glad to have made peace with my enemy and gained you for a friend. I will send my own physician to attend to you. I will also restore your property. So the king promised the bearded man that he would send a physician. Physician is a doctor. The king promised the man that he would send a physician to attend him to cure his wound, and not only that, he also promised him that he would restore, give back his property. The king walks out of the room. This is scene 4. This is scene 4. Now, what happens in scene 4? Very interesting. Now, let's see scene 4 outside the hut. King, for the last time, I pray to you to answer my questions, wise man. So the king goes to the hermit and joining hand, he says, for the last time, joining hand, he says, for the last time, I pray to you to answer my questions, wise man. You have already been answered. So the king says, the hermit says, you have already been answered. The questions what you have put up, you already got all the answers to your questions. Hermit, he says, you have already been answered. The hermit kneels on his thin legs and looks up at the king who stands before him. King answered, how? What do you mean? Answered, how? What do you mean? Hermit, don't you see? If you hadn't pitied my weakness yesterday and had gone your way, that man would have attacked you and you would have gone your way. It means, he says, if you hadn't pitied my weakness yesterday and had gone your way, that man would have attacked you and you would have repented of not having stayed with me. If you had not helped me, if you had not pitied me and helped me and would have gone your way, this bearded man who was following you, this bearded man who was following you, he would have attacked you and he would have wounded you. And then you would have repented. Then you would have repented for not staying with me here. So, the most important time was when you were digging the beds. So, the most important time was when you were digging the beds. I was the most important person, and to do me good was your most important business. Business in the sense, work. Afterwards, the most important time was when you were attending to the wounded man. He would have died without having made peace with you. So, he was the most important person, and what you did for him was your most important business. Remember, then there's only one time that's important. Now, it's the most important time because it's the only time when we have any power. The most necessary person is the one with whom you are. For no one knows whether they'll ever have dealings with anyone else. And the most important affair to do is to do them good because for that purpose done was a person sent into this life. Children, it's a beautiful story giving us, teaching us life values. If the king had not taken pity on the hermit, the holy man, because he was a old person, he was already sick, and he was doing such a tedious job, he was doing such a hard work. If the king had not taken pity on him and helped him and gone away, his enemy, his enemy, the bearded man, was following him. He would have attacked him, he would have even killed him and wounded him. Then the king would have repented. The king would have repented for not staying there and helping the hermit. So, in this way, the hermit, the holy man, explains the each and every incident that took place in the story, making the king understand. Children, we have not seen tomorrow. Today I am sitting here in front of you and I am taking for you online class, teaching you this lesson, giving you examples, teaching you values. I don't know tomorrow. I may come, I may not come. I may be alive, I may not be alive. We have not seen tomorrow. Have you seen tomorrow? We have not seen tomorrow. So we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Suddenly there might be a thunderstorm. Suddenly there might be a cyclone. Suddenly there might be floods. Suddenly it might start pouring like hell. Anything can happen. So we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. We have not seen tomorrow. We have to live today. So the holy man made the king understand, made the king realize we have to live according to the time. Live today, don't live for tomorrow. Good or bad, we have to take decision on the spot. We have to think and we have to react. There are so many incidents related to this story. This lesson is teaching us so many life values. When we see somebody in trouble, it is our duty to go and lend a helping hand, to give a help, to give a help. We cannot be selfish children. We never know when we will need help. If I am selfish, I will not have any friends. If I'm selfish, when I'm in bad times, when I'm in trouble, when I'm in problem, no one will come to help me. So these things the king understood. The hermit tried to explain, tried to make him understand, giving him simple examples from their own experience. His experience, his meeting with the bearded man, his meeting with the holy man, gave him all answers to his questions. So, children, when we have to help others, we should not hesitate because we never know when we will need help, when things will go wrong with us, when someone else will come and help us. So, this is a beautiful lesson giving us a beautiful message of life. So, sharing, helping is humanity. We should have a soft heart for others, whether it is human beings or animals or insects or anybody else. Because if you are good, you will receive good. If you are bad, you will get everything bad. So, this is the lesson, the three questions. The king got answers, the king got beautiful answers for his three questions, and which he will never forget.